Hello and welcome to another Super Play video. This one is going to be for issue 13 from November 1993. This one, the main feature is Kick It. So, going off that, it's looking at the a few footy games on the SNES, including what have we got here: Pele, Virtual Soccer, Prime Goal, Sensible Soccer, World Soccer, and many more. So obviously a football special. Price of the magazine now has gone up. It's £2.50, so I think this was its third price increase in just over a year, but I suppose it's only 50p or 55p, so it's not too bad really, but then again you are paying for quality. So anyway, let's start looking through the magazine. So we've got an advert here, first of all, for the game Tough Enough. Sorry about that, just make sure everything's in shot. So, Tough Enough, 1-1 fighting game. Not fantastic, but not bad either. Sorry about that, just should have checked the, camera angle. Anyway, right, so we've got the editorial page there. And again, as usual, although it's changed its style a little bit, but first up is contents. So usually when you had a full page talking about all the reviews that were going to be featured in the magazine, that usually was on the right hand side, but no more. It's just basically a little bit of a list here, and then other little boxy out bits talking about what's actually in the magazine. So let's say a bit of a change. Also same with the Super Play profiles. So as we enter year 2 of Super Play, the magazine is changing a little bit. So what have we got news wise? We have got Hyper Nintendo announced. So it's basically Nintendo are going towards the future, the next consoles. So we've got Project Reality here. So obviously the next home console that Nintendo did do was obviously the Nintendo 64. So as we go through these issues, no doubt we will obviously follow the story, how it went from Ultra 64 to obviously the Nintendo 64. So wow, see, even looking at that, it's even making the 6 o'clock news, the old style 6 o'clock news. So moving on, we have got some news here. Gym Power, a game that I don't know if it ever made it out on Super Nintendo. I'm not 100%. And then there's a game here called Mr. Tough, something that I've played fairly recently. And then Turn and Burn. And then again, talk about a few new pads down there. Then we have got a little bit of news here on Cool Spot. Yeah, great. Platforming game, dead colourful and everything. It's one that I own because of the Super Play Top 100 list. So, it's quite difficult to win places. It really is. Anyway, then we've got some Street Fighter 2 bits and pieces. So these Street Fighter 2 watches down here and some key rings. So obviously it was absolutely massive back then. The key rings were $1.99. And the Street Fighter 2 watches were $4.99, just like a little plastic figure stuck on them. Well, I suppose that's not too bad, I'm not saying they're going to be great quality though. Then we've got some news here. Super Street Fighter 2 is on its way. Now this was quite a big thing because it had 4 new fighters, as we can see here. Oh God, I can't even remember the names off the top of my head. I think it's Fei Long, DJ, T-Hawk and Cammy. I remember my friend getting this on Super Nintendo, and it was absolutely fantastic. It cost quite a lot of money. I have got my Super Street Fighter 2 boxed on PAL in a pretty good condition. A little bit of crease in there, but yeah, happy enough with that, definitely. So obviously it was a third Street Fighter 2 game coming out for the Super Nintendo. Anyway, moving on. Fantasy Quest. More news on Secret of Mana, or Holy Sword Legend 2, as it's also known there. And then some more news on this Madara 2, something I'm just not up on at all, by Konami. Super Play Hot List. Here we have got Lamborghini Challenge, Sunset Riders, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Pilot Wings, Yoshi Safari, and Out to Lunch. So, you know, quite a few varied games there. And then we've got, again, a bit of news on the Pro Universal Adapter. Like I say, this is something that I do need to look into. I need to find the best adapter for my I said PlayStation then. So the best adapter for the Super Nintendo. And then we've got a bit of a feature here, because obviously no internet back then, but you had loads and loads of mail order companies, so the best tips to protect yourself and not get ripped off. As I've been flicking through these magazines, you'll probably see advert after advert for mail order. Well, yeah, speak of the devil. News here, Turtles Tournament Fighters, couple of screenshots there. Excalibur 2097 and Super Battle Tank 2. And then again, Blabbermouth with Chris and Tell. Some news there, Anime World. Nothing that really recognise this time, sadly. Then we have got some more games news here. Another new pad coming out, a game called Time Slip. Total Carnage, which is sort of like a semi-sequel to Smash TV. It's not as good, you know, but it got okay reviews. I'm sure it was like, you know, 60s, 70s, and again by THQ, so we started getting their act together as, you know, the years went on. Anyway, we've got, again, a bit more games news. This is a game we're going to be coming up to very soon. A game called Skyblazer, done by Sony. Not many people mention it, but I seem to remember it was absolutely fantastic, definitely. And then we've got Flashback, Chaos Engine, Lethal Enforcers, and Dragon. So quite a few big games coming up there, and most of those are well worth checking out. What have we got here? We've got a Superplay interview, Hyper Nintendo, not too sure what that is. Silicon Graphics have released details of a new Nintendo, which will be designed by Superplay. No, forget it. Anyway, it speaks to Steve Webb, the marketing manager, about obviously Nintendo's plans looking at that. Looking at the charts, we have got Striker at number 1. Obviously this time of year, you're into the new football season. Striker, not a bad football game, you know, it's one that I do enjoy. And here we have got Mortal Kombat in the import chart, Holy Sword Legend 2, Japanese chart, and Mortal Kombat on the American chart. So Street Fighter knocked down a bit there. So onto the main feature, the football games. Like I said, back then there were absolutely loads of them. Some better than others, some you wouldn't even bother with. You've got a bit of news here, EA Soccer. Don't know if that's what became FIFA, because obviously FIFA was out on the Mega Drive first of all. Bit of news here on Sensible Soccer, fantastic game. Not too bad on the consoles, but obviously a lot better on, you know, the Amiga. Virtual Soccer, 87%. So decent rating, and it doesn't cost that much if you do want to add that to your collection now. The last time I looked, I think between like 10 to 15 quid you can get it boxed, so it's not too bad really, because everyone just, you know, concentrates on the International Superstar Soccer really, when it comes to Super Nintendo. Prime Goal, 75%, one that I've never played, so I can't really comment on that. Looks like Japanese only. And then we've got a review here for Jurassic Park, which is a game I really do not like. I remember my friend buying it. I think he spent 60 quid on it. A lot of people are fans of this, but I've played it recently and I just don't like it. You've got the top-down view going around the park, and then you've also got this viewpoint when you're going into different rooms, and obviously it's like a first-person shooter type viewpoint. Anyway, we give that 89%. Massive film license there by Ocean. So, next up, we've got more adverts there. We've got Racing Game versus Racing Game. We've got Top Gear 2 versus Lamborghini American Challenge. Now, Top Gear 1 and 2, done by Gremlin. Fan of the Top Gear games, definitely. And looking at this, the ratings are very close. 74% for Top Gear 2, 73% for Lamborghini. So, not much in it really, you know, both similar viewpoints with a two-player split screen and everything. But yeah, not bad. Well worth checking out. We've got an advert here for Total Magazine with zombies on the cover, and then we've got, what is this? Yeah, like another RPG type game, Arcus Odyssey. Is it an RPG? Is it a shoot 'em up? We don't know. I've never ever heard of it, but we're giving it 57%. Looks like it's got a bit of a crazy viewpoint anyway. And then what we've got here, third party politics. Games players all agree that cards cost too much, but third party software publishers like EA say that Nintendo prevent them from making money. So obviously these companies are putting their argument forward why they charge so much for cards. So as mentioned on the last video, the price of games, obviously that topic rumbles on. Anyway, next up is another games review. Goof Troop, 69%. You can pick this up still for an okay price. It's sort of like RPG type, well, action adventure RPG type light. Similar viewpoint to like Zelda is on the Super Nintendo. So if you just like, you know, want your kids to get into RPGs type thing, it's worth checking out. I used to have this when I was a kid. Never owned it since though. But I don't think it sells for too much money anymore. Well, at the moment I should say. Then we've got Aero the Acrobat, a game that I've owned but never actually played. I'm saying owned a long time ago. 84%. Then we've got Mr. Nuts, 86%. Again, done by Ocean. A game that I recently had but got rid of. It's really difficult in places. Luckily there are a few different cheats that could make the game a little bit easier. It looks fantastic, it really does, and looking at graphics there, 91%, but it's just a really tough game, different to the Amiga version anyway. And then we've got a couple of reviews here. Might and Magic 2, 43%, Evo Search for Eden, 47%. Now I used to have this Evo game, and well, back just over 10 years back when I had all my collection, and I thought, no, this does not look like my sort of thing. Even though it's a bit of an RPG and you're evolving from fish to animal, yada yada yada, it now sells for stupid money. It really does. I'm sure last time it was like getting on for a couple of £100. I might be wrong, you know, but I'm sure it was a very high amount. A couple of adverts there, and then we've got Mario and Wario, 70%, and then a small advert here for PC Gamer Magazine. I'm pretty sure this is still just about going, or it's just folded, but I'm sure I've seen it recently. So first issue out November. And then the second part of the player's guide for Mario All Stars. So again, a few pages on that, quite a few pages on that. A lot of pages on that, until we get to this Super Putty. Again, a game that I've had recently but got rid of, because I'm just trying not to just be buying every single SNES game, you know, that I can get my hands on. You know, I'm trying to be a bit picky. Super Putty, 84%. Not that bad a game really, and not that bad a review. And then we've got the Incredible Crash Test Dummies, 41%. They were quite popular back in the early 90s. And then what else have we got? Game Zone, new look here. I don't think it lasted much longer after this. And then we've got Super F1 Circus 2, 34%. Not my sort of thing at all. And they've done another reader survey, which basically another chance. They want to know what you like about the magazine, what you hate about it. A couple of pages there. And then Championship Pool, 78%. Wing Commander, Second Missions, 64%. So a couple of smaller reviews down there. A couple of adverts. And then we've got Super Slapshot Ice Hockey, 65%. Not really my scene. And then we've got Captain America, which is a scrolling beat 'em up. On the Mega Drive, it's not that bad a game. On the Super Nintendo, it's absolutely awful. 30% they gave that. Really not good. I've played it fairly recently and it just plays awful. And then we're going on to, as usual, advert here for Games Master. Magazine, and then on to Game Freak and Ask Adi for your cheats and tips. Again, they always gave a lot of, well, this month especially, we've given a lot of room to all, you know, get stuck in with all sorts of hints and tips this month. Mortal Kombat with the different moves for your different characters and stuff. Bit of a cheat here for Royal Rumble. That's one thing I've never really pointed out. They also say in the little cheats when the game was reviewed, which issue, and what percentage we gave it. Nice little bit of extra information there. Again, loads of mail order companies. Going on to playback, what's hot and what's not hot, letters from abroad, what you want for Christmas, Nintendo's new Super Machine, and then what's not, adapters, game endings, and pitiful pleas on behalf of Nico, which I'm sure we'll come up to again in a minute. Some great envelope art here, if you can see that. We've got some Mystical Ninja artwork that looks absolutely fantastic, and also some Bomberman artwork there as well. Again, what cart is still the same, really. I think in a couple of issues they start, you know, doing like A to D and D to, you know, so on. Then we've got Super Play Classic, Super Parodius, number 4. 86% they gave that. That's a game that I do want in my collection for my Super Play Top 100. And then we've got the Supermarket Classified Ads, 3 pages this time. And then basically, yeah, speak of the devil, there's Nico. He's been playing football and they've not picked him up, basically. And then we've got the back issues page there, which is obviously getting bigger and bigger now with 12 issues. And then the next month page, again, more SNES troubleshooting. And then on the back we have got an advert here for Pop and Twimby. So that's a quick look there through issue 13. We're getting very, very close now to what I class as the sort of like golden era of Super Nintendo. You know, when you start hitting 1994, it seems to be a hit after hit, you know, with all your Donkey Kong and everything coming out. So we're up to those issues within a couple of months anyway. Okay, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, liking them and everything like that. I'll see you very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.